Can we go? Yes, we can go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Shootin' the Sith. I am Mr. Tim Tabala. With me is my co-host for today, Grogu, floating by in his little bin. Joining me is Mr. Ed Camus. You know him from Granny's Peach Tea, Empire 161. You know him from all over Pop Culture Pros. Ed, welcome to the program.
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me, man. The first time I'm Shootin' the Sith.
Absolutely, man. I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up to get going. But before we get going, before we do anything, we have to get to something very important. We have a very special guest to bring us the Akbar Fact Bar of the week. He is a renowned professor in the world of Mon Calamari knowledge. You will not find anyone who knows more about Admiral Akbar than this gentleman right here. He is Dr. Jason Fischetti, and he's giving us our Akbar Fact Bar of the week. Jason, what's up, my friend?
It's a trap, guys. How's it going?
Say.
Thanks for. There you go. Ah, beautiful. All right, thanks for having me on. I was researching the ancient scrolls today, and by the ancient scrolls, I mean Wikipedia. And what I found out was that Admiral Akbar was a dad, guys. Admiral Akbar had a son named Aftab Akbar. He met him only once, right? He had a son after he retired. So after he single-handedly led the successful strike on Endor, recognizing the trap and saving the day for everyone, he retired, as we all know, and he went to Mon Calamari to live out his retirement years. And he had a son, which again, he only met him once. And the only conversation they ever had was his son begging him not to leave retirement. And as we know, by leaving retirement, he was killed and called away to the big Mon Calamari paradise in the sky. I don't know what the hell Mon Calamari paradise would be. I got to do more research into that.
I'll look up Mon Calamari heaven for you, see what that comes out to.
Please. I was thinking a lot about, while I was thinking of what to say here, about what the Mon Calamari religious structure must be. And I hope that there's like a book or something. Like, I'm going to say this, Tim. If you can find a book that is about Admiral Akbar or Mon Calamari, and it's on Audible, I will listen to it as the weeks go by, and I will come on this show and I will talk about it.
I have about 6 different versions of the Ultimate Star Wars Encyclopedia.
That is
every time it gets updated, I steal one from someplace. So I guarantee I have a lot of information in those books for you.
That is awesome. All right, so I'm going to have to check your ancient scrolls.
Exactly. My ancient scrolls might have a little something for you, Professor, so you never know.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so I'm just going to say this before I go, is that I really think that I'd like to think that Admiral Akbar's last thoughts before he passed was, I should have spent more time teaching my son the family jargon, because I think if Aftab had gone to his father and said, "Dad, don't go out of retirement, it's a trap," I think the Admiral would have listened.
I think so too.
Yeah, he has to listen to his own advice.
He knows all about traps. He's a full-blown expert on traps.
That's true. That's very true. No one else knew it was a trap on Endor, but that calamari did.
I agree, 100%.
All right. Well, I gotta run, guys. I got Mon Calamari business to attend to at the homestead. But thanks for having me.
Thank you, Professor. You know you're welcome anytime you want for the Akbar Fact Bar of the week. Anytime you want.
I appreciate that, guys. And for me, it's a wrap.
Thank you, sir. Take care of yourself.
Wow.
That's one of my my little fun segment I like to have. We got the boss watching. What's up, boss? You stumbled upon the show and you know the host? That's a coincidence, isn't it, boss?
Oh, that's weird.
Yes. Gil, come on, Gil. I don't mess around when it comes to the Akbar Fact Bar of the week. We're going to have a lot of stupid segments like this as the show gets rolling. Mon Calamari is a planet you see more of. Yes, because don't forget, they're not the only species on that planet. The Kit Fisto species is also a part of that planet, so we will see that. And I thought you said calamari. Steve is hungry. You're not too far off, Steve.
No, it's close. It's close.
All right, we're going to get to this week. Episode 2 of Boba Fett dropped. But before we even do that, Eddie, because you weren't on last week, give me your impressions of episode 1. what you like, what you didn't like, what you could have been different. What were you shocked at? Were you surprised? Were you like, holy shit? Or 40 years in the making of Boba Fett getting out of that goddamn Sarlacc pit. So, what do you think?
I think it was really cool that we finally got to see the explanation of how that happened. I mean, it was just kind of like it happened, and that's it. So they took their time with it. I'm gonna be honest. The first time I watched the episode like twice, and the first time I wasn't totally blown away by it, and I'm like, is it me or something like that? Then I rewatched it. I'm like,
a lot of people weren't blown away by it, to be honest.
No, but I kind of appreciated it more when I just kind of took the time with it. And yeah, there was a lot to explore there. Like how did he get out of Sarlacc pit? So we got the answer to it. It wasn't going to be just like, oh yeah, I blasted my way out and that's it. Like in the story, it's like a 30-second scene. It took a lot. We found out where he went with the Tusken Raiders and everything like that, and now we see more of that, in chapter 2. So I thought it was really cool, though. Honestly, I dug it. It's just like a slow. The episode 1, well, chapter 1 was just a slower episode. So if you're just understanding, like, a lot of shows, you kind of got to have that slow first episode to set things up and get things in motion. So I dug it. Shock wise, I don't recall I wasn't shocked by anything. Really. I mean, I think through our conversations, you kind of explained it to me at times where, yeah, this is kind of what happened, but to actually see it done was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I was very interested in Boba Fett having to keep on going back to the Bacta tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't explained why he has to keep. Yeah, we don't know why he has to keep going back in there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just chalked it up so far to him just being really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he did burn himself alive inside a pit of a giant squid thing. So
yeah, so listen, guys are really fucked up in the Star Wars universe. They spent a lot of time in the Bacta tank. So
and don't forget, Vader takes regular trips to the Bacta tank also. So
yeah, we did find that out as well. Yeah, but I dug it though, and this week's episode, I mean, things picked up a lot more this time, and I'm kind of digging the flashback stuff, which is like, current time, which is after Return of the Jedi, which is kind of around when Mandalorian's taking place. Yet this flash, it kind of reminds me of Arrow, like early season Arrow in a way, which I kind of dig. I like that.
It's like here's Boba now, but let's see how he got out of the pit and how he got where he is. So, but instead of the island, he's in the Dune Sea, hanging out with a bunch of Tusken Raiders.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, I that's how I'm looking at it, and I enjoy it. It's almost like you have 2 different shows in one.
Well, that's another thing I want to ask you too, because, like I said, a lot of people I don't think are appreciating. Now you're seeing the Tusken Raiders not just as this mindless group of killers, whatever you want to call them. They're actually a very structured group, and there's groups and groups and groups of them. And we're also getting to see guys who are wearing different color robes, which means that different significance. And I might have mentioned it last week. One of them could be rumored possibly to become the famous Darth Krayt, because there is a Tusken Raider Jedi who turns bad. He becomes Darth Krayt. That dude in the dark robes is rumored to be him. Again, that's not really spoiling anything. That's just a rumor.
It's a rumor.
I'm not breaking anything up for you guys. No. But yeah, what do you think now between the Mandalorian and this now? I mean, I'm not saying there's appreciation because they're not really good guys, they're not really bad guys, but do you have at least a little more appreciation for the Tusken Raiders and their ways and what they do?
Yeah, no, because they've been like fleshed out characters now. Like we know so much more about the whole thing now. So yeah, no, I definitely would. Yeah, I guess the word is appreciation. We're just understanding them more, not just guys. It's like, because it's still right now, as far as we know with the Sand People, they're just TD, and they steal shit, and that's kind of their thing. We don't know that much about them, but maybe one day we'll learn more about them too. Who knows?
I'm sure we will. Digging the Flash is one of what's going on in the modern timeline. Yeah, Gil, I do too at the moment. I am kind of digging that more, but I am looking forward to see now we have Hudson play, which I knew was going to happen eventually. I'm gearing up for the present timeline too. So I think that's going to be great. I said we'll get to the introduction of a certain furry black character, which everyone flipped over about, all the people in the Star Wars universe. But first, let's get down to the episode. The episode starts where the first one left off. They have a prisoner. They brought him back to the Jabba's hut. They ask him the questions. He will not answer. He will not talk. The droid says he will not speak because he's a member of that 9-Wind Order bullshit thing, and he won't speak to any man. So Fennec decides, well, let's see if he'll talk to the Rancor. Hits the old switch, Jabba style. Guy falls in the pit. shits his pants. I thought it was hysterical. The door opened and he just gave up the mayor. Gave him up. They're like, "Oh, dude, get me out of here. Get me the hell out of here." And there's nothing even in there. And they even say it's empty. And all you see in there, which of course is poetic, is a rat.
Yes.
I thought it was fantastically poetic.
Did you think there was going to be a Rancor in there?
No, I didn't think there was going to be. Where that thing is a good question, though.
Yeah, I thought something was going to come out. I didn't think it was going to be empty. I didn't think the whole thing was a bluff.
Yeah, I think his handler probably took him out when Jabba went down. Took him and with the body, I mean.
Yeah.
The dead body. If the body was in that would have been pretty cool. I thought that was pretty funny.
Big dead body.
Big dead Rancor body. I had to be on the other side though, where Luke crushed him at the gate. But yeah, I thought that was a great little flashback. Of course, the Return of the Jedi. He gave up the mayor. The mayor, I can't even pronounce his name. Mark Shies. He's an Ithorian, which if you collected the figures back in the day, he's a hammerhead, which is what they do is they use for the figure. But he is an Ithorian. They talk through their throat, and they have a very cool power that was revealed in the Clone Wars, which is if they scream, they can pretty much vibrate and destroy anything in their path.
Oh wow!
Cool little nugget for people. Yeah,
that's cool.
Cool little nugget for people who don't know that. And that mayor, by the way, is played by none other than Robert Rodriguez, the director.
Yeah, they had to find this way in there.
Of course, they're going to make Vegas in there. They're all going to be in there in one way or another.
Hitchcocking it.
Anyway, the mayor decides, I got nothing to do with this, dude. I didn't try to kill you. Here's your little tribute that I got for you. This ain't me. You got to deal with a certain something. Go back to that club. You'll see what I'm talking about. Boba and Fennec head out. They end up in that club again. Another cool little fun fact: that little droid on the bar is from Star Tours. He was the pilot.
Oh, wow.
He was the pilot of the first Star Tours ship. If you look back, and then he popped up a couple other places too. And he's also voiced and still is by Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Rubens.
Wow.
I'm throwing the facts at you, man.
That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome.
So that's a good little. I like, you know what I mean. I'm all about the Easter eggs. The first time I watched the episode, I didn't even pay attention. I'm just looking for the eggs, egg, and then I go back. I have to watch the episode now. See what the hell happened. So anyway, the mayor, they tell her, listen, we don't think you're in charge. Why do you think that? Go outside and find out. And boom, here come the parade sessions. Everyone's gathered around, and here comes Jabba the Hutt's cousins. I love how it's a family affair too.
Yes.
Has to be a big. They even say that family is more important than he got Vin Diesel on us. Family is bigger than this money thing, and you're gonna find out why. That's exactly. Jabba did this. He's like, we're family. It doesn't matter if you win a mile. We're Hutts. Two Hutts, boy and a male and a female. Again, fantastic. I love seeing the Hutts. When you think gangster, when you think criminal, you got to think Hutt.
Yeah, you had to figure they're not going to just let it go and that was it. Like, I know Bit Fortuna took over after, but they were going to come back at some point.
Now that's something I want to flash back. How the hell did Bit Fortuna manage to capture Jabba's? That's one crazy ass thing. So anyway, Boba decides, listen, I'm in charge now. I'm taking over his territory. This is my area. The Hutt says, I don't think so. Gives a little nod, and here comes walking out of the back our very first super Easter egg now he's from the Marvel Comics series too. He's not like he's an old school dude. He's a rather new character. It is a black Wookiee, and I can't even pronounce his name yet, but it's like Crescenta. Yeah, Gil wrote it over here. But yeah, he's from the Marvel run of Star Wars. He's not from an old school dude. He's from a more modern run of comics. So he's also a badass bounty hunter. And I think it's gonna be awesome to see what this thing can do. Ed, you got any comments about it so far? What did you like so far in this episode?
I mean, his showing up and having him as the muscle, the Hutts having him as the muscle was pretty badass, and I kind of wanted to see him get into some action immediately. I was wondering if that was going to go down, but he was just kind of like the muscle, the presence right now. I don't think there's no question we're going to see him in action at some point during this series. But it's really cool to see another Wookiee besides like Chewie, and then episode 3 was the last time we saw any other Wookiees besides Chewie. So they're always welcome back. He didn't even speak, right? Like
No,
nothing. He kind of just posed and was like looking intimidating.
he looked pretty badass. He looked pretty cool looking. So I was like, and he looked different too. He wasn't just a black Chewie.
Okay.
He was like, a cool looking.
Yeah, he looked like he had his own thing going on.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. He's also known by Santi, which I don't like, BK or Black K, and he's a Wookiee bounty hunter. Which BK. Wookiees are black croissant. Yeah, black.
Like he's the Burger King.
He's a Burger King. We call him Burger King. That's what you need to do. So yeah, I'm pumped up to see what they're going to do with him. How many more characters are going to introduce from that run? Because these Favreau and they know everything.
Yeah, I like the fact that they cherry pick from different parts. Like there's some expanded universe stuff. There's some comic stuff. There's, like you even said, the Star Tours stuff. Like they're cherry picking what they're going to make canon, and I think that's really cool. And it keeps everyone, all of us, like whatever level of Star Wars fan you are, on your toes to find out, like, who the hell is that? Who's that? So that's pretty awesome.
And don't forget, we did kind of see a Wookiee in episode 1. The Trandoshan was carrying a Wookiee skin as a tribute, which I thought, again, those two species do not like each other. And it's fitting that city is full of Trandoshans and that Wookiee. I was wondering if we're going to see any action between them. Because I don't care if there's any, he's a bounty hunter, sure, but I'm sure he don't like the Trandoshans hunting down his species every chance they get. Frank, no Mets, no Jets, Frank. That's all I'm telling you right now. I'll throw you right out of here.
No, not on this show.
So anyway, Boba Fett pretty much, they say, this is going to be our territory. He just blows them off. He blows off the Wookiee. He don't give a shit. Blows them all. Tells them to go back to Nalhutta. Go do your thing. This is my territory now. And they say, okay. And they turn around and they ride off. But I mean, come on. That ain't going to be into this.
No, they're coming back. And Fennec axes Boba Fett too. Like, do you think that's really the end of it? He's like, no, that's not going to be it. They'll be back.
Yeah, and I think they're setting up to really be probably the big bad guys of this season as far as modern time.
Okay.
What's going to happen in the back of the time, I don't know. But that's what we're going to get to next. So they go back to the palace. Boba hops back in his little back to tank where he likes to have his dreams. And here we show him basically training with the Tusken warriors, fighting with them, dancing with them.
Yes.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, Boba. I don't give a shit anymore anyway.
He was eating it up.
Yeah, but we get our first look at what they call the rail crawler transport system, which is basically just a train running through the desert. But what this train holds is spice and a bunch of illegal stuff they're trying to get through from city to city without getting destroyed. Mm-hmm. And since the Tuskens are pretty much scavengers, they don't wait to be shot at. They shoot first. So they shooting up the tribe. Boba gets involved, says, I can get these guys. I can get them. Of course he's thinking that. Yeah. I can take them out, no problem, because he also happened to see a swoop gang, which, again, as far as fans like me go, hearing about a swoop gang is fantastic because they're like they're the outlaw bikers of Tattooine. They even got the vests, and they ride around their speeder bikes, and they break up bars just like any other gang would do, any other Hell's Angels would do. So he rolls up into this bar, deciding he's going to steal some speeder bikes. Now, here's my favorite Easter egg. And again, a lot of people probably didn't get it. There's a man and a woman in this bar sitting at the table. They are Luke Skywalker's childhood friends, Fixer and Cammy. You will only know that from the novel, or you'll know that from the deleted scenes, which I did post on this page. They are his friends. It said Fixer and Cammy, and they used to call Luke Skywalker Wormy as a child, as a kid.
Yeah.
So when Luke talks about going into the Tachi station, that's who he's going to meet. He's going to meet Tank, Cammy, Fixer, but Biggs came back at the end to say, by the way, I jumped to the Rebels, and that's how that whole thing started. So I thought that was even more important than the Black Wookiee. I thought that was more important. I thought that was way cool because I spotted her hairstyle right away. I said, holy shit, that's fucking Cammy from episode 4. Guaranteed. And then I saw this kid Fixer with the same 70s haircut. I ran right to the deleted scenes. I said, yes, it's got to be them. It's got to be them by name.
I definitely noticed the 70s haircuts right away, but I kind of felt like they were just trying to make it look like it was,
No, they made it look. If you go back and watch the scene now, they look just like them. They did a perfect job with the hair.
Okay.
Making them look like Fixer and Cammy. So, yeah, those are my two. That was probably my favorite Easter egg where I got all like, oh, my God, look, it's them. It's what you've never seen before. Like, we haven't seen his friend since Biggs died on the Death Star. So I thought that was pretty cool. What what do we do now? Oh, Boba Fett decides, he just destroys that whole swoop gang, kicks the shit out of all of them, steals their speeders, tells the Tusken Raiders, "I'm going to teach you guys how to ride." Which, what did you think?
Hilarious.
I was going to say, what did you think of that scene? And how, was it?
This
way, this is where people I think have a problem with the show so far. They're not liking that kind of stuff. What do you think of that stuff?
Well, they're upset about the fact that Boba Fett's with the Tusken Raiders and just teaching them.
A lot of people are saying it's slow. It's too slow right now.
No, I mean we're learning about a whole gap of time that he lived, and I think that's important that you see that. I don't think he's gonna be with the Tusken Raiders forever, but I thought it's really cool that we got to see when we see him in The Mandalorian in season 2. He's on Tattooine and he's got his whole stick and he's dressed a certain way and everything like that. And it kind of looks like we're learning how he got to that and what the heck he's been doing. And I think a lot of fans want to know what the hell has Boba Fett been doing this entire time? At least between Return of the Jedi and when we see him in Mandalorian. And that's where the buildup is going. I just have a feeling, though, we're not going to get the flashbacks throughout this entire season. I don't think it's just going to be him and Tusken Raiders and then, present time, and that's it. I think we're gonna still find out what the heck else happens to him in between now and then.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna start focusing more on the present because, listen, the way they've done it so far with the Mandalorian, it's gonna be so far, like you said, between the Wookiee, between Cammy and Fisher, those are little cameos.
Yeah,
and they're gonna come out with the big ones eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to show up on this goddamn show. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this! This is actually real. This is actually happening." So,
well, didn't you call Obi-Wan showing up at some point?
No,
in a flashback or something.
Well, no, because he's already dead.
I thought you had called something like that we were going to get somebody showing up. No, sorry, you're right. Obi-Wan would be dead at this point.
I'm thinking one of the other bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back.
Okay,
I'm thinking Dengar. I'm thinking one of those guys, Bosk, even.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Trandoshans seem to be hanging out in Tatooine, which doesn't make sense.
Everyone hangs out on Tatooine.
But they're amphibious, so I don't know why you want to hang out in the desert. That doesn't make sense to me, but hey, whatever. I can't speak logic about a galaxy far, far away.
Everybody finds their way to Tatooine.
That's why I said it's the worst planet in the galaxy, and yet the most shit happens on that planet.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
in the history of Star Wars, I mean.
Yes.
I mean, two of the greatest people in the history were born on that planet, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. So yeah, I thought that scene was great with Boba Fett teaching the Tuskens how to ride the bikes, how to jump from bike to bike. They got his little buddy from the first episode with the mirror. You have the signal when the train comes through. First of all, to have a train, I thought was just kind of genius. I don't know why this train thing. I thought it was cool as shit. You don't expect to see a train running across the desert.
No, no, especially with no tracks or anything. Just got bust out. So obviously it's hovering, but.
Yeah, so long story short with that, though, they take down the train, and they tell these guys, listen, you want to come through here, that's fine, but you got to pay a price from now on. Weapons, water, whatever they got to do. And these guys do you have any spice on board? They're like, what the hell is that? And boom, that's what that is. Spice is like the, do I want to say the cocaine of the galaxy?
That's what I always thought it was.
It's for a lot of stuff. It's for a lot of stuff. But yeah, spice seems to be very important. Kills fine with the pacing for they can take the time as far as I'm concerned. I agree in some facets. I don't want them spending the whole show with the Tuskens, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because I also want to know how much time is in between then, because that's after Return of the Jedi. And then Mandalorian is 5 years later. So what was he doing for 5 years?
In 5 years, somebody was on an island for 5 years?
Unless he was in the Sarlacc for 2 years, and he just found his way out 2 years later.
Yeah, well, we don't really know how long. My guess is I think it's kind of shortly after. After he gets out, I don't think he was in the Sarlacc that long.
Yeah, couldn't have been.
It's just my guess.
Yeah. So like I said, Mandalorian takes place 5 years later. So that's 5 years worth of stories you could tell of him on Tatooine, or maybe just for now on Tatooine. But I don't want to see him on Tatooine for 5 years. I like to see him go out and do shit. But like you said, when we see him in the Mandalorian for the first time, what is he? He's dressed like a Tusken Raider.
So I'm guessing there can't be that much time in between, but I'm sure he had other shit to do besides then. But
He has
it's funny you
Slave
mentioned
One.
5 years because there's also 5 years that Oliver Queen was on the island as well. It's all coming together now.
We have an arrow parallel.
Yes.
But yeah, it's true. It is true though. How they're going to do that, I have no idea. But like I said, I'm going to put my trust in them, I guess.
Yeah.
Where we go from there? That was a good one. The Spice, the Clone Wars, the Pike Syndicate. The Pike Syndicate, by the way, is the name of that group. They're also a well-known criminal organization. And
I also thought it was badass when their leader or whatever asks Boba Fett, he's like, are you guys going to kill us? And he's like, well, it depends on what your answer is next. So he was just like ready to go there. And obviously they have their conversation about the spice and everything. And they bust open their water truck because their tank, he had told them like, oh, we're going to die. Just walk towards the sun or whatever. And he's like, well, here, here's this water and stuff like that. You can get what you get and that's it.
Gotta give them one of those little bubbles they've been drinking out of for the last 2 episodes. It's here.
Water eggs or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, walk now. Yeah. Go. So from this big battle, Boba Fett's basically initiated into this Tusken tribe. Mm-hmm. He gets the robes. He gets a little high, gets a little mystic. The Tuskens all of a sudden become like a mystic group with this little drugs, little peyote, whatever they give to him.
What was the deal with the dragon thing that they give him?
The dragon thing.
So they says here, I'm going to give you a gift. They give Boba Fett a gift, and that thing flies up his nose or in his mouth or whatever. And
that's
makes someone is like trippy shit.
Yeah, I guess that's like the peyote, I guess.
Okay.
And it's supposed to guide him, and I think it guided him just to the branch.
Yeah.
For them to make his own gaffy stick, and I knew right away what that was going to be. I think going to make the gaffy stick, which is pretty cool watching how they make it.
Yeah.
I thought the gaffy stick was just like wood. It's not. It's all kinds of shit. That's what makes it so strong and so powerful. And they give him his robes, and he comes out all badass looking. Even though I don't like the robes mixed with the Boba outfit.
The armor, no, not a fan of that.
I'm glad they don't do that no more. I'm glad they took that away for this one. I wasn't really thinking that. It looked a little weird to me. But yeah, so now he's an official member of this tribe, and I think that's pretty cool. So now I think we're going to see him for a while. I hope not the entire show, but I think we're going to see him with this tribe of Tusken Raiders, and who knows who the hell he's going to run into. Again,
they got to run into somebody like of some sort of significance at some point. They can't just be sitting in the middle of the desert somewhere, dancing and making things and carving stuff and like getting high at times.
Well, that's why. So I said Obi-Wan. I don't think Obi-Wan's going to spend on his show the entire time in the Tattooine desert. Because how much can you possibly do?
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. This show is proving that there's a lot of shit going on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
You got gangsters. You got gangs, you got the Pike Syndicate, you got Sarlacc, we already seen two new monsters introduced, 2 creatures introduced eating Jawas and eating Tusken Raiders. So I mean, it's a fucked up place. How you live there, I have no idea.
I don't know. Ask people in Arizona. It seems pretty similar.
But at least they have water. They can turn a faucet on and get some.
Oh, they have eggs. There's water eggs laying on the sand, apparently.
Well, you don't need moisture evaporators like stupid Uncle Owen.
It's like little canteens.
Yeah, it's basically what it is, which is kind of weird to think about it. Well, whatever. I'm not even going to judge it. So what was your favorite part of this episode so far? Well, the episode's pretty much over, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the episode? You think?
My favorite part was the whole introduction of the Hutt cousins, as I'll refer to them for now.
Yeah, I don't know the names yet.
They didn't drop names, right? I didn't miss the names there. Yeah, I think that whole scene, that whole dialogue there, and then we get the black chrysanthemum, whatever it is. That whole exchange I thought was cool because it also shows Boba Fett being super badass because he wasn't backing down or intimidated by any of it, and he's still laying his claim, to as being the crime lord, which. I'm curious to see how that goes. Like, you kind of just show up and take out the old guy, and then that's it. You're the crime lord.
I guess that's how the gangs. Yeah,
I guess so.
You claim it, and that's it. And if someone better comes along, as Bib Fortuna learned, you're out.
Come get me. That's it.
See, I just think I have a feeling that Bib Fortuna was placed there by the Hutts. As like a front thing, because he doesn't have no power, no strength. And how did he get off the sail barge? Then again, I can see him running. Once shit hit the fan, he probably ran.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
can actually see that happening.
And Luke and Leia and everyone invested in it. And Leia had too much going on. They didn't need to worry about Big Fortuna. So
no, he didn't have to worry about him. But yeah, I mean, so far I'm digging both of them. I like both episodes. I'm not worried. I guess I'm more biased than most people. But I said all these little Easter eggs that are popping up is what gets me excited because they do a phenomenal. Favreau, Filoni, Rodriguez are all doing a phenomenal job with this, and I'm looking forward to the last. I hate the fact that it's only like 9 episodes, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, we run into that too with all the Disney, like both the Star Wars and Marvel shows too. Like
Hawkeye was 6.
6. That's it.
That sucks.
And it could have went. I felt it could have went 10 easy.
But yeah.
Sometimes less is more with this, because the knock some shows get is that they drag it out. You got filler episodes where shit doesn't happen and stuff like that. So I don't think you're going to get any of that with here. But from what you're saying is that it seems like a lot of fans want the pace to pick up. Were they expecting Robert Rodriguez being involved, so it was going to be nonstop like bloodfest and shootouts? And
I guess so. But I don't see the point of that, having it just constant shooting and so it doesn't
with no story.
It doesn't lend anything, to the story of these guys. Like I said, we already have a whole new respect for the Tusken Raiders, learning their ways.
Yeah.
Seeing that they're not just mindless creatures, they're a tribe of and you got to remember something too. I tried to explain this last week to Eric, that they're not. They're most of them are human who decided to take up that lifestyle. It's almost like switching religions and becoming something else.
I don't know that.
Those bandages are part of it. They're put on there so your skin will never see the sun again, and the mouth thing. It's all part of their tribe. It's all part of their lifestyle. There has been several times where they've actually took people and forced them into it and made them get used to it. And if you mentally can get through it, you can become a member of the tribe. But most people can't get through the mental aspect of being wrapped up in those chains, those bandages in 150-degree heat with your eyes and your mouth all,
I couldn't do it.
So yeah, I couldn't do it either. I died the first day. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. You guys win. See you later. Throw me into Sarlacc because I can't do this anymore.
Sounds like the initiation of Cobra Kai.
Yeah, basically. So like I said, this is why I said I love the fact that we're learning a lot more than what they are, and the fact that the possibility that one of them could be force sensitive is really cool.
That is really cool. I like seeing other characters that are not Skywalker lineage being force sensitive. Like that is a cool thing, I think, or anybody can do it.
Because one thing people forget, because people forget too, like just because the Emperor Vader died and Luke was the last one, doesn't mean he's the only force sensitive one in the whole galaxy.
Yeah,
that would be
terrible.
They're still out there.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So, so that wraps up episode 2. I'm looking forward to episode 3 already. Hey, we got something. Hey, man, throw it out there. What do you got?
No, I was just gonna say is that I think what's really cool, and I don't mean to keep doing comparisons to like some of the Marvel shows on the other show that I'm on, but no, I think it's cool when you get to have a series that's connected to a universe of films. You get smaller characters like the Tusken Raiders and stuff like that. And, as we saw with the Mandalorians, they get their time to shine, and we get to learn and appreciate them, because before these 2 shows, Boba Fett was just this cool, really badass, cool-looking guy that was a bounty hunter briefly, and he was off, and that's it, like from a film perspective. And now you have shows that get to dig deep, and like you said, you get appreciation for these things. And the Marvel shows have done that as well. Like, with Hawkeye, he's kind of like the other Avenger, and like for some people would see him as, but now it's like, holy shit, wait, he's a badass now. Okay, so we could appreciate that. So I always like to see other smaller characters getting their time and then their respect, and you appreciate them when you see them in the films then.
Oh, no, I agree 100%. And it's like, for someone like me, like you said, you're getting to see shit from when you were a kid that you never thought you'd ever get to see, and there it is. And that's just why fans should make these movies and this stuff, because it pays out.
Fans, yes. You listen, there are trained filmmakers and storytellers there that are also fans.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean.
Give it to them. Give it to them, because we've seen that a lot of ways. Like I told you, we were, going to do 8 o'clock, but I was wrapping up season 4 of Cobra Kai, and that show is made by super fans of The Karate Kid, and they approached, Machio and Zabka about it, and now it's like, hey, you got a #1 Netflix show. that's there that's still going, and it's like it's cool to see that. Like Jon Favreau doing it with Star Wars, and you get comic fans doing the Marvel stuff too. So yeah, you're right. That's where that's where the bread and butter is right there. Find people that are passionate about it and let them get the reins of it and go with it. And it seems to be working everywhere.
And the rumor is we may see Lucas directing one of these shows coming up.
That would
which
be
I
cool.
think would be pretty cool. Which I think would be really cool. Speaking of those shows, Ed, before we even go, out of all the shows coming out, which one are you looking forward to the most? Don't say Mandalorian season 3. It's got to be one of the new shows.
That's a cheat. I know. That's a cheat. That's a cheat.
So it's Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Disciple, Andor.
Well, the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you think you're looking forward to the most?
I mean, that's tough because I'm pretty excited about Obi-Wan now because I do want to see. I mean, we got Hayden Christensen coming back, and I'm really, you're right. He's on. He's going to be on Ahsoka as well. I want to know how he's going to be used in Obi-Wan. I am so fascinated about how that's going to be because, as we know, he was Vader at that time. I don't think you're going to bring back the actor just to put a costume on him and that's it. No,
I'm thinking flashback. I'm thinking flashbacks. I'm thinking nightmares.
Yeah, that's how I think we're going to see his face.
Which is how I think we're going to see him in Ahsoka. Also, I think she's going to have a lot of nightmare type things. But that show went to the Clone Wars went to crazy places where they were flowing through time. I mean, she may actually meet Vader, the real Vader, on that show somehow.
Doesn't she fight Vader?
Yes.
On Rebels or Clone Wars?
Phenomenal scene.
Yeah.
Phenomenal scene because spoiler alert, I'll put the spoiler up. Spoiler. She pretty much gets a good blow in him and blows his mask off. When he turns, he comes back as kind of like Anakin for like a split second. This is Ahsoka, and she sees finally who he really is, and she just basically like shits her pants and fucking great scene. It's such a great. That's like that's something I would love to see live action.
So maybe they will redo that scene.
I would. Oh my god, that would be so good. And to have Hayden Christensen do that, oh my god, I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
I'm actually gonna have to go with the Acolyte because I don't know that much about it, and I know you're excited for it because it's supposed to be centered around the point of view from like the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we've never seen before. That's why I would say that. But I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I have different levels of interest with it. Like Andor, I love K2SO, and I know he's going to be on that show, so I'm excited to see more of him. I love that character. And Obi-Wan, how could you not be excited for everything that's there? And Ahsoka also, how could you not be? Because we got a taste of that in Mandalorian season 2, and now we're going to see Rosario Dawson fully as Ahsoka, and she's supposed to be chasing down Grand Admiral Thrawn, right? Like that's supposed to be where that's focusing on.
Yeah, which might lead to Ezra from Rebels popping up. I know we're already getting Sabine from Rebels going to be popping up. So yeah, I mean it's
the shows all sound great. Like, how can you not be amped up for all the shows? But I guess I'll just go to with the Acolyte because there's a lot of unknown because it's so different than anything we've seen before.
Yeah, so. As I said this too. That's the one we know the least about too. But I mean, for me, I said it last week too. And actually, right now, it is actually Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Because I want that. I want to see him. I don't want to say the word suffer. I want to see him go through those emotions. Because I think Ewan McGregor will pull that off beautifully. Of regret and guilt and protecting Luke and fighting with Uncle Owen because that's coming. We're going to finally have that showdown. Because he brought back. You're not just going to bring back. What's his name? Joel Egerton. That's his name. What's his name?
Yes. No, you're
not just going to bring him back to walk by the screen. Like, hey, I got Luke. See you later. No. They're going to have that showdown that we've been looking for again for 40, 50 years. That's why these shows I think are so fantastic because all the shit we want from kids is all coming to fruition. It's all coming to the forefront.
Yeah, and we get to see how he ended up being like a nomad on Tattooine. Like nobody knows him, and he's the creepy old man, and like just I want to see how we get from one place to the other.
How he and then becomes this calm, calm badass Jedi guy. It's old man, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that the most. I think as much as I want to see Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra come back, because that's just going to be crazy.
And live action.
And live action.
It's only been animated to this point.
Yeah. So we're going to see a big Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that again. That's another show where you can just start pulling out ridiculous names and who else you know they can do whatever they want.
Well, did you also see the reports that Patty Jenkins had moved? She gave up the Cleopatra movie that she was supposed to direct also to focus more on Rogue Squadron.
Yeah,
and obviously and Wonder Woman 3. But I obviously will focus on Rogue Squadron being that this is Shootin' the Sith. I mean, it's nice to see that she's going to put the focus on it. I still want to see what the heck that's about. Like, what is it exactly besides just a Rogue Squadron of, X-Wing fighters, like fighter pilots? I just want to know when it takes place.
That's what I want to know, when it takes place.
Yeah.
And is it going to be like a paramilitary group, like a secret group that goes out and does their shit? And
that would be cool.
Is Luke going to be involved? Because he is Rogue Squadron. Him and Dak and Wedge and all those guys. So I'm interested too. But you know how I am with Patty Jenkins right now. I'm a little wary.
But be confident because she gave up a movie that she was going to direct to focus on it. So maybe she's passionate about it and realized it. I don't know. I'm trying to be positive.
I hope she hits it out of the park. I really do. I don't want to hear all the it's bad enough we got all the negative Nellies out there hating what you're supposed to be loving just to hate it.
Of course,
and I don't know how you still bitch and moan because like I said, the Mandalorian is just it brought everything back.
Yes,
it brought it back, and Boba Fett too. It's bringing everything back. It just makes you feel good. So
you watch these shows and it feels like Star Wars. Like it really feels like Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I'm not one to knock the Disney the movies, but Star Wars feel. Force Awakens, yes. The other two, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it said, especially
Rogue One felt like Star Wars.
Rogue One, I love Rogue One. Rogue One's one of my favorite.
Rogue One, yeah, we talked about it. On Empire 161.
And one day we'll do another recap of our favorite movies on the show. But once I get all the stuff, all the bugs worked out of this show, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna wrap it up. That was a cool episode. I can't wait for the third one. Hopefully we get some news coming in this week and do some other segments. Because right now it's been quiet in Star Wars land.
Yeah.
They released Boba and they're like, dude, that's it. Boba, you got Boba. Shut up. Enjoy
it. They want all the attention on Boba Fett now.
That's right. By the way, they just finished season 5 of Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, no, so they filmed it already. So I was reading an article that was saying that they were
I'm thinking about the end of the year.
6?
Probably by the end of the year we'll get at that.
Oh, yeah, or I don't know if they're going to hold on to it until because New Year's Eve day seems to be their niche.
Release it early. Come on.
Yeah.
I know.
Or I also think they got to shoot these things quick before some of these the actors they age out and get too old.
Yeah, they can't be 18 in the Karate Kermit anymore.
Yeah, no, then they're going to look like
36.
Yeah, they're going to be Karate Man like in Karate Kid 3.
Daniel fighting two men fighting for the under 18 title.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, and it's supposed to be a year after the first one.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up there, everybody. Don't forget Boba Fett Wednesdays at 3 a.m. I'm just kidding. I watch it at 3 a.m. You don't have to watch it at 3 a.m. You can watch it whenever you want. Every Wednesday, Star Wars news. Hopefully, I'm trying to get the show going. I'm trying to get everything going. I'm trying to get my guests coming on. Hopefully soon, but they keep backing out because they're assholes. No, they're not assholes. They're nice people. I'm not going to insult them before they come on here. Anyway, hopefully. But anybody out there has any problems, you call me up. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about comics. We'll talk about tattoos. We'll talk about collectibles. Anything you want to talk about, we're here for that. Ed, next week, Granny's PC, Batman 89, right?
Batman 89. It will be next week, next Wednesday at 8:30. So if you're into Batman 89, come check us out. We'll have the Superman and Lois Season 2 premiere. And we might be adding in Lego Batman. We're working on that. So nice. But Batman 89 is the focus. So
I'm sure I'll pop on. I'm sure I'll pop on for Batman 89. Tomorrow night, A to Z program with Eric Zan and I believe myself. Yes, myself. We have a pretty funny show planned. We're gonna watch the old 50s, 60s, 70s health videos and stuff they used to make you watch in school. Plus, we're gonna throw in some of the funnier ones like Be Afraid of the Homosexual, which is one of the funniest things you'll ever see. I mean, it's sad.
Crazy
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane that this is how this country used to think.
I have seen it.
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
See, that's what Eric showed me the hygiene one. I said, no, man, watch this one. He saw that one. He goes, we have to do that. I said, I told you, it's insane. That one and the nuclear war one where it says, get under your desk and you'll be
Yeah.
safe. No, you won't, asshole. You're dead.
Didn't they spoof that on SNL with Tom Brady? I could have sworn he was on it.
They always spoof that.
Yeah.
Even like a lot of shows, they spoof it. And the guy was like, dude, I'm not getting under my desk. I'm going to die. We got to go into a basement, like dig a hole, get down there. So that's tomorrow night, A to Z program. And next week, we start all over again. Talking about Granny's PCD. Just Too Sweet will be coming back soon. We're trying to get a little something going. I'll tell you that later. Just Too Sweet Wrestling, myself, Eric. Double O Deep Dive. Dr. Fashetic. Monday night, Dr. Fashetic, who you saw, is the master. He's Q of that show. Ed is also on that show with him. What movie are you doing this week?
We're doing the original BBC version of Casino Royale.
Oh, which is crazy. I actually want to watch that. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, we're stepping out before we get into the Pierce Brosnan era. So,
no, I'm only coming on for Jaws and Jaws only. I already told Jason that. I'll do the 2 Jaws movies and I'll be happy. That used to freak me out as a kid.
I liked him as a kid, and meanwhile, I hated Roger Moore.
And next week also Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We're getting to the playoffs. We stomped out our last show. Thank God, because it's just a depressing year to be a Giants fan. It's a depressing 5 years actually to be a Giants fan. We're gonna wrap that show up also, and then we start all over again. Don't forget to follow us, popculturespop.com, Pop Culture's Facebook page. We all have individual Facebook pages. Follow all them. Audio, Spotify, Anchor, we're on all that shit too. We're everywhere, man. Just make sure you click and like us all on YouTube. Watch every show. Ed, any last words before we head out?
No, I got nothing. Just be safe, everybody. Enjoy all the shows. Watch them all. Like them all, like Tim said. And we'll see you next week. Because I have a feeling I will be popping on to talk about some Boba Fett with you, man.
Hell yeah. Anytime. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Come on in. And remember, ladies and gentlemen,